Welcome, everybody. This is D. Durrell, the Conscious Clientele. I am operating again from Twitch, my channel D. Durrell Life Solutions, and also operating from D. Durrell the Rebirth. So, um, I'm basically chilling right now. Um, I have about 45 minutes to burn, so I decided to do a quick little live stream. I'm getting ready to see a client. I'm out in the field. As you all know, I have talked about a lot of the services that I provide and so forth in the field. And so I'm basically in the car now chilling. I'm at a park right now. I'm just going to have a nice little conversation with you all um, until it's time for me to get back to work. So um, I like to say again, for everybody that has supported me, I appreciate the cash apps. Um, I definitely benefit from it. The Janice House definitely benefits from it. Um, I appreciate you all for viewing me. I appreciate you all for the support that you have provided me, and I want all of that to definitely continue. Before I went live, I actually I was just on the phone today trying to solidify more business. I got a new guy that's getting ready to enter into the Janice House, and he has a ton of things that he has to take care of that I'm gonna have to assist him with. What's up, BMT? BMT said I lost the debate. Black business owners matter. Exactly. And I heard the latter end of that, BMT, so I didn't hear all of it, but it is what it is, man. You know how it goes. You know how it goes in these streets. People debate and they vote for people they like, not necessarily the content of what you state in your argument. But so I'm working on a new client. He's in the hospital situation. Got a referral from a mental health agency, and right now that I don't have my Dallas office anymore, now I can focus a lot more attention on the Houston area and surrounding areas as far as me providing the services that I'm able to provide. I want to let you know, guys, COVID doesn't make things. COVID does not make things any better. It Even though I have survived and I'm still profitable, but it's a lot harder to be profitable due to just the interactive. Because in mental health, it's about face to face. It's about direct communication. You can't be successful in mental health if people don't like you, people don't trust you to do things that you're supposed to be doing. You have to have a good reputation. You have to be truthful. You have to be able to be a person that people feel you're going to do what you claim you're going to do. So for me, um, I've been able to have that reputation, and I don't want to tarnish that by any means. But I do want everybody to understand that as a black business owner, we have to operate differently. And for those who are listening, BMT is a black business owner. I'm a black business owner. You know, for the most part, I could pretty much carry on my business just like anybody, um, and not deal with any racial issues. However, I find that the most difficulty, and I hate to say this, is when I'm dealing with people who either don't understand mental health, no matter what demographic they fall under, or when I'm dealing with people in our own community that don't understand and never met a counselor before, never met a psychotherapist. They never met a guy to actually run a quote unquote, what they call a quote unquote good black business. because they question that. Our people, we have poor consumer confidence in Black business owners. We think that, excuse me, white businesses and businesses owned by people outside our community are actually better. And you'll be surprised the amount of businesses that we think are black or think are white, and they may be black. But psychologically speaking, when you see a nicely ran, clean operation, many of us automatically assume it's owned by white people. This speaks to the psychological conditioning that we have as far as self-hating ourselves and minimizing what we can and can't do. When we see people doing business, we think of somebody white. When we think of wealthy, we think of success, we think white. And that's the reason why, excuse me, we're not where we need to be as a people. Because we have to see ourselves. We have to envision ourselves as being the success. We have to see ourselves as being the standard. We have to see ourselves as belonging in those groups and excelling. That mindset contributes to why a Negro is willing to spend his last dollar with somebody that doesn't look like him as opposed to spending that dollar with someone who does. Now, when I talk about Black businesses, that's something that lays heart to heart to me and deep. Because, what's up, Rollo? How you doing, brother? Good to see you in here. That lay hard to me because I've been owning my own business now for over 12 years. And it was not easy. It was very difficult. BMT right. Don't be a Black owner and make mistakes. You become a Black owner and make mistakes. People are going to magnify that mistake. And the reason why Black people magnify the mistakes of other Black people is because internally they don't feel that they are adequate. And that's the danger of integration. That is the danger of what integration has produced. What's up, keeping it plain? BMT is alluding to any type of mistake, an operational mistake, a customer service mistake, just any minute mistake that can happen just on the fact of being human. When operating a business. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Particularly major corporations and so forth and bigger conglomerates, they make all types of mistakes. They make colossal mistakes. And you know what Black people do? We forgive them and we go spend our money with them the next day. But when it comes to a Black person making a mistake, I can't go there anymore. And those are facts. Those are facts. And so we have to be in a mindset where we have to expect that other Black people, I'm not going to even say expect, we have to demand that Black people treat us as such. And nothing less. We have to demand being trustworthy. We have to demand being truthful. We have to demand proper customer service. We have to demand good businesses. A black business is not bad because it's black. Bad black businesses operate poorly because of a lack of funding and a lack of good management. That's the reason most black businesses fail. It has nothing to do, my skin tone has nothing to do whether or not I can manage people. My skin tone has nothing to do whether or not I can manage money. My skin tone has nothing to do whether on how good or bad I can provide a service or sell a product. And we have to get out of saying black businesses are bad businesses. No, black businesses are not bad businesses. Bad businesses are bad businesses because they're operating and the ownership management is under the operation of somebody that doesn't know what they're doing or not good at what they're doing. And it just so happens, they just so happen to be black. What's up, Faith? How you doing, sis? She says it is not just black businesses with bad customer services these days. Exactly. It's always been like that. I'm going to be honest with you. Let me highlight some businesses that have bad customer service. T-Mobile is horrible. Have you ever, and I have a business account with T-Mobile. Don't you know, guys, when I go to T-Mobile, I went to T-Mobile about 2 months ago I forgot what I was getting. I think I was getting a damn, you call it one of those little things you put over your phone, the cover for your phone, for the covering for your phone. I just wanted to buy one product. Don't you know I was in that T-Mobile for 45 minutes just to buy one goddamn covering? And they kept asking me question after question, trying to get you to buy all kinds of shit. Want you to update this. I just came there that to me, that's bad customer service. I didn't come for all of that. Quit trying to sell me stuff I don't want. A good business and good customer services recognizes the needs of its client or their customer and get them out the way. Every time I go to a T-Mobile, and sometimes I do want to hear things, but if I'm coming there to hear those things. Another thing, they make you wait long, and then they looking for the goddamn product that you want. That was bad customer service. So BMT says, I demand quality service and work while having a safe and reliable service. It's hard to derail when we are constantly compared to major conglomerates. It is an uphill fight for us. It's an uphill fight for us because I think that it's an uphill fight because as black business owners, we have to understand that we don't operate under the same environment as everybody else. Thus, your room for standard error is less. But to me, even though that's the case, that means that the way we interact with our people has to be different. And when people and I think that the biggest thing is that we have to begin to correct people who assume most black businesses are bad business. Because sometimes, as customers, we have black people who are unrealistic as customers. You know, the ones that want to hook up, the ones who want all type of things that they wouldn't get from nobody else, but because they supposed to lose business because we brothers and sisters. And I'm saying we have to get out of that. I also think one of the reasons why we have such a negative perspective around businesses because we don't have a strong business culture. African Americans, we don't have a strong business culture. Yes, I would. I wouldn't mind putting all of my wealth in a majority black, as long as they have all the guidelines and they have a strong track record. I don't have a problem doing that. One bit. I don't have a problem doing it. Matter of fact, I have some assets in not necessarily a black bank, but I have some assets in a black financial institution. So I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that one bit. Matter of fact, I'm glad you, because my thing is this. I look at people who own businesses. I see horrible Asian businesses. Matter of fact, most Asian businesses that I see are poorly ran. But you know why they're still afloat? It's because you Negroes keep going there giving them your money. Asian businesses are poorly ran, but you niggas keep giving them money. Those businesses do. Matter of fact, Asian businesses are rude as hell. They talk about you. Some of the places stink. They dirty and they unorganized. You know? And see this Flocka. He said like, shit, I couldn't be you, Unc. I would never. Why not, Flocko? Why not put your money in a black bank? Again, what is the correlation between blackness and failure? That's a misnomer that we have to conceptualize. Are you assuming, Flocko, because of black bank that something bad is gonna happen? You know? Just ex Goldman Sachs, the shit that happened to Goldman Sachs 10, 12 years ago. Nobody wanted to touch Goldman Sachs. Let's talk about AIG. Let's talk about what was that? It was the Lehman Brothers. Let's talk about all them banks that failed in the fall of 2008 and got bailed out. Where were your good white business then? Look at Murdoch. Look at all the scams that these people have done. Now, dealing with black businesses, I think one of the major issues with a lot of black businesses is that they don't understand the market. And part of that is our problem because of the lack of support that we give our own businesses, they are forced to have prices that are higher than the market, the average in the market. And I do think that as black businesses, we have to understand that you're going to have to lower your profit margin until you build a stronger enough clientele. Let me repeat that. You can't get, as a matter of fact, me and Flocka was talking about this last weekend when we were talking about black businesses, about somebody selling jeans for the same amount as Gucci and so forth without the name and the notoriety. I agree with that. You're going to have to lower your profit margin. And I think one of the ways that you can lower your profit margin is that you network with other businesses that need to buy similar products, and you combine together to buy more things wholesale. And if you buy in bigger bulks wholesale wise, you can lower your prices. That's what Asians and Indians do. I guarantee you, every Asian hair and nail shop all of that, they probably all get together and buy all their products from one company. Every Asian business that's on one block probably get all of their product from one company, and they buy it all together. They don't buy it separately, they buy it all together. And that's what we have to do. We have to start network. If I'm in the hair care business, I need to network with 5 other hair care businesses, and we need to buy our own products from one company together. Instead of you buying a smaller amount for and because the less you buy, the more you're paying for it. The more you buy, the less you're paying. That's how wholesale works. They want you to buy in bulks. The bigger the bulks, the more savings. But no, we want to be a lone gun by ourselves, not want to interact with people, and want to charge outrageous prices. Because to me, particularly with black businesses, most black businesses are usually not bad because of the product. Most of the time, people complain about the presentation and the customer service. That's usually what most black people complain about. They complain about the customer service, feeling respected, and the optics, how it looks. Is it organized? Is it clean? Does things look nice and neat and so forth? That's what we need to focus on. What's up, Micah Israel? What's up, Oracle? And that's what we're missing. We're so caught up on trying to fight one another instead of understanding that the person next to you is actually an asset. We're an asset to each other. So let's benefit from that. And to me, this is not all about us coming all together as a community. This is us understanding that in small pockets, if we do things to benefit us, we can transform our community. What's up, Kay? What's up, Kay? Business Podcast. Appreciate you for coming. I'm sorry about that. I'm back. Had a bit of a problem there. But yeah. And then, yes, as a black business, I've had people come in my business and think I didn't own the business. I've had issues as a black business owner of non-black people trying to undermine my authority. I had to deal with that. And I had to fire their ass. Or I had to get in their ass and let them know you're not going to disrespect me in my own business. And I literally had to do that a couple of times. Yes, I had to fire people on trying to undermine me because I'm a black owner. Yes, I've done that multiple times. And I'll do it again. Nobody is going to shame me for a business I worked hard establishing. And you think because you have a preconceived idea of me that's based in a foundation of racism that I'm supposed to bow down to that? And I'm writing your check? No, babe, you got you got another thing coming if you come working for me. And I'm very easy to work with. I'm not a micromanager. No means that I'm not a micromanager. We Unlock Nation said, D. Darrell, what other black businesses are amongst you? You mean that I own? Um, I have the other thing that I have is the group home. I also have a transportation company that's kind of on the low right now. It's not really operating like it needs to. And I also have a DNA testing agency that I do, but that's actually been since COVID, those things have kind of been suppressed. But I'm going to re-implement those things before the summer. So those are things I got going on right now. And I have another big like another counseling agency that's kind of small. Now that makes money, but it's on a lower scale. That's not the main business that I have is my day program that's with the company itself. All of the other business I have are they're on a small scale. They're not on now they produce money, but they're not on the level of my main business. I would hope that one day it gets to that point, but we're not there yet. Yeah, I do. I've been credentialed at doing medical transportation since 2016, I think 15. We've done small. We mainly do it on a small scale because of limited credentialing that we can get into other companies and so forth. But yeah, that's where we at. That's where we at. So those are the services we provide. The Oracle said, "I hate to say it, but we women can get too disrespectful to the workplace and caddy. I rather deal with male business partners, just me." There are a lot of women. To be honest with you, there are a lot of women who think that way. I'm gonna be honest with you. Most of my best employees were actually black women. Um, my worst employees were non-black people. A lot of non-black people were my worst employees. I had issues of respecting authority. I had issues of always being needy as fuck. I had issues of not doing your work on time. I had issues incompetency in certain instances. Needy as hell. But I've also had some that were also real good. Um, Michael Israel says, I find you need to target anyone who will spend rather than focusing on your own community. Our community not supportive of the whole and rather spend with other races. Shaking my head. I understand that, Mike. However, that doesn't mean you can't target it. I'm willing to spend because I'm gonna be honest with you. A third of my business comes from black people. It's pretty equal as far as some demographic. I'm gonna say a third is black, a third is white, maybe 10-15% Hispanic, and everything else. That's basically what I have for the most part. Um, it's pretty evened out, and most of my business doesn't come from. Only a third of my business come from black people. And I think that as black people, we have to quit bringing, excuse me, this mindset of inferiority towards our own people in a workplace environment. That goes from like Poetic talked about a black supervisor being tougher on another. Why should you as a supervisor be tougher on somebody else because they're black? Treat them based on the quality of work. Again, it's that overall assumption psychologically that being black means that you're defective. Being black means that you're automatically not going to do something correctly. And when you look at it from afar, you're making the case for the white supremacist. Quit making the case for the white supremacist. Quit doing the white supremacist work for them. Judge people on a first come first care service based on what they're doing, based on their quality of work, not just by how they look. Do we not understand that when we look at other black people like that, there's also other black people who also do the same to you? Do we understand that? That if I think somebody is no good because they're black as a worker, there are people also going to look at you and think the same thing. Therefore, we should not be doing that. And I don't understand why is it so difficult for us to understand that you're not the exception. A lot of black people have this mindset of thinking we're the exception. I'm not like those other Negroes. Okay? I mean, quit doing that work for them. Judge your brothers on a case by case basis. I'm not going to have one bad experience with one black person and I think every black person is no good. That is the mindset of the white supremacists. Quit doing their bidding for them. Allow them to do their own bidding for themselves. What's up, Shaka Ra? He says, I have been the only black programmer at every company I've been hired at, but they know if there was more people like me, we would be unstoppable. Hence this suppression. Humans behave like viruses. Exactly. Quit doing the bidding for them. We should be helping each other. We have been in such a such a bad state that it's very difficult for us to think that being black is synonymous with success. We think that whiteness leads to success. No, it's more. The whiteness does nothing. That's an indirect perception based on observable facts of how they are operating. We see the benefits of them doing and operating certain manner in which being white was not the reason that they obtained it. It's because they had a plan. It's because they had certain other attributes that led to their success. And being white was not one of them. Now from a social standpoint, it may have been easier for them to operate and change lanes in certain areas because of their whiteness. But as far as the work itself, whiteness has nothing to do with that. You're right. You're right. Keep it plain. We need to understand business, and that's why I stated we need to develop a stronger business culture. We don't have a strong business culture. We don't have a strong business culture, and we never did. We have to create a standard of how we do business. Create a standard of how we speak, how you dress, how we treat one another, how we do overall business, how we function from a financial standpoint, how we network, And last but not least, how we mentor the younger generation to take our place, which to me is the most important. Most of our people get mixed up with the hustle because they've been trained to believe that as black people, you have to hustle. That's the reason they believe in the hustle, because they've been trained to believe that. We have been psychologically conditioned to believe that because you're black, you grew up in the hood, in the ghetto, you're struggling, you can't survive, therefore you must find any means to survive and make money, even if it means hurting your own people. Shaka Moran says business culture is tied into spirituality, psychology. That's why ancient Egypt was so successful, Mansa Musa being the richest man who ever lived. In comedic sciences, there's a term called mentalism, which is an oval shape. Everything that the Egyptians did, or the Kemet did to the people of Kemet, there was some level of spirituality behind it. That's right, mentalism. I'm actually going to do a topic on mentalism, and I'm going to have the symbol. It's a little simple symbol. Matter of fact, Shakamara, I was going to change my avatar before I rebooted D-Derail Rebirth. I was going to use that the symbol of mentalism, which is an oval shape laid parallel, laid like laying down. I was going to use that symbol because spirituality and mentalism gave the foundation of what we consider modern day psychology. I may go further into that. But we have to understand this. Yes, our people are not business savvy enough. But nor are the real business people who know how to operate, nor are we savvy enough to identify and network with those who are on our level or better, so that we can increase that. You see, why is the black millionaire not networking with the other black billionaires? Why is the black billionaire not navigating with the black billionaire to do things? This is what everybody else does, and I don't want to hear this thing about everybody coming. You don't need everybody to come together. What we need is for everybody within our group to identify others and develop stronger groups. Nobody is 100% unified. But we're doing a horrible job of identifying other talent that is successful and productive just as you are, and networking with them. Excuse me, guys. That's right. Keep it plain. Form a team, become unstoppable. no one knows everything about anything, and no one can know anything about everything. Big facts. And we have to utilize our people. We have to change this image of us only being music savvy and athletics and entertainment. All of the disciplines that don't take a high level of mental fortitude to be successful. They're more physical and other different attributes than actually being intelligence, true intelligence. We have to define what true Black intelligence is supposed to look like. And see, many of our kids are discouraged from being intelligent because they psychologically have been embedded that as a Black person, I have to look, talk, and act ignorant. That's why the other day there was a big ass 6'7" farm animal in the, that we had to deal with, that Anti-Afro is dealing, that had recruited. That's why sometimes I'm in spaces they call me lame or they call me this and that, because when he hears a professional Black man, he is intimidated. He feels that Black men, it's okay for Black men to sound ignorant and rough and uneducated. It's a damn shame. But what's worse is that they have those who listen to him who co-sign that bullshit. I got ridiculed for telling another Black man he needs to be more professional in operating his school. I'm not telling you that because I don't want you to succeed. I'm telling you that because that's the way your school can thrive long term. Nightmare Theater says this video is definitely necessary, more important than another video on Lynn or Umar. More than that, more of this, please. Yes, it's coming. I'm getting back to content that will separate the good guys from everybody else. We have real content. We're versatile. We're well-rounded. I don't have to do Lennon, Honor, Umar content all the time. Matter of fact, I'm not doing any real content on that till the weekend. And that's how it's going to be from this point on, because people need to know a full range of what we can do. When I did when I was on Shakim Raw's channel the other day talking about projection and sublimation and so forth, I had people that sent me comments and thanked me for doing it and want me to talk more about defense mechanisms, which I will do. But see, that's what I bring to the table. But yes, black businesses, as a Black business owner, for the most part, racism is not going to be your biggest problem. Although it will be a problem. It can occur. But racism, I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, because it will. And the more successful you are, the more racism you deal with. The more successful you are, because there are people that don't want to see you successful. There are people who feel that, just like Black people in our community that don't think that Black men are supposed to, how did you get where you are? Well, there are other people in other communities that also feel that exact same way. How the hell did you become so successful, D. Durrell? And you know what they try to do? They'll befriend you and attempt to act like they like you. But what they're really wanting to do is learn how you became successful. And what they want to do is be you. That's what they want. In business, you're not going to have a lot of friends. Even the people as black people, even if we were able to hone our resources to create better economic conditions for ourselves, these people are not your friends. That's your business partners. And that's another thing that our people have an issue understanding. Just because you're in business with somebody doesn't mean that they're your friend. No, it means that that's your business partner. You do business. Now, in corporate and corporate environments and so forth, they do the corporate thing. That don't work for black folks. That's why a lot of black people socially struggle in corporations, because in corporations they do all of this quote unquote team building type shit. What they're really doing, they're really vetting you, to see if you're in line to do the shit that they want you to do, so they can use you to make them rich. You don't have to bow down to that. I think that as black people, as we continue to progress, we have to develop a business code of ethics, a business code of operation, in which we kind of don't copy some of those things that don't work for us. Matter of fact, a big concern. That was a big concern in Silicon Valley about the socialization of black people in software companies and tech companies. And they said that black people were the least likely to want to stay after for an hour or two, least likely to go out with them and hang out. They basically wanted to do their job and leave and go home. And I understand that, because when I worked at places, I operate the same way. But we do have to understand, when you go into certain businesses, there's a certain culture you have to operate. And there's nothing you can do about that, because you're in their domain. If you gonna play in another man's field, you're gonna have to play by his rules. And that's what we've been doing for the longest. We've been playing by other people's rules. Barely surviving. That's what we've been through. So why play under somebody else's rules when you can do things to create your own rules? Now, it may not be as profitable starting off. It may not have all the notoriety, may not have the big name, but you live in a good life. You own it. You structure your own day. You have a clear conscience. And you're creating something that your family in the future can benefit from. That's what we're doing. So that's what we're focusing on. That's what we have to do. Now, Shaka Moran said some things. He said, topics I would like you to run a cover: self-image, self-concept, 12 defense mechanisms, psychotherapy, spirituality versus religion, Black Wall Street, psychosocial behavior. Okay. Mentalism and exercise. Okay. Wow, that's some good topics, Shaka Moran. You just gave me a month worth of topics to talk about. Definitely could talk about self-image, particularly as it pertains to us as a people, self-concept, and so forth. How we think about ourselves and what we should be doing. I can go over 12 defense mechanisms. That's a week long. Psychotherapy. I'll focus on the psychotherapies that I use. That could be an ongoing thing, talking about every one of them, the major ones. Spirituality versus religion. There is a difference. Black Wall Street. I definitely have done some study on that. Psychosocial behavior is basically how you develop behavior in social environments over time, from the time you were born to your present day. I can speak of mentalism from a comedic standpoint. Exercise. I can talk about the effects of exercise and the mental benefits that exercise provides. So I'm gonna keep note of that, Shakim. I'm gonna make note of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, brothers. What's up? What's up, Operation Exodus? Brother Up and Up. We gotta do an interview, man. Either Saturday or Sunday. We gotta do an interview, man. We gotta get back and have some talks. We have to have some more interviews, brother. Yeah, man, it's about 2 months of video. All of those things I can talk in detail about. Definitely. Oh yeah, Sunday is good. We could do Sunday evening. We can get together. Definitely, man. I want to definitely talk to you. I see brother Up and Up been talking a lot about the Nation of Islam and so forth. We're gonna definitely have a conversation. And then we're gonna also talk about as far as the Exodus to Mississippi and what that would look like. Because let's be honest, Mississippi is not a state that people wish to go to. That's not a state that people or they fantasize. Nobody fantasizes to going to Mississippi. But I can say this: Jackson, Mississippi is making a come up. That's for sure. Jackson, Mississippi is on its way to becoming like an Atlanta. That's facts. That's facts. Jackson, we got to keep our eye, because matter of fact, I'm thinking about taking a trip to Jackson. And to be honest with you, even in college, man, I never went to J State. And all of, that's a rival of ours, But I do think that's something to look at. Look at Jackson, Mississippi. There's a lot of black entrepreneurship going on in Mississippi, and Jackson at least. But to me, the Delta, and I'm gonna talk to brother Up and Up about this. There's a lot of economic opportunities, and I think, man, in Mississippi, I'd be buying up all that cheap land, particularly in southern Mississippi. In the Delta, I would buy up all that good farmland. All of that land in southern Mississippi is cheap as hell, and we should be buying it. We should be buying it. Okay? So, guys, I got to get out of here. I got to get to the practice, get back to the business, doing work in the community. Y'all have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the show. D. Durrell with the Conscious Clientele. Have a great day.